The next on our list is that of a re-envisioning of a classic. Amon, Apocalypse of Devilman, or the Darkside of Devilman, is based off the classic manga done by Go Nagai. Now, of course, if you know about Go Nagai, he is the same guy who brought us the Mazinger series. Upon many other series like Demon Lord Dante, Devil Lady, and other such notable series, especially UFO Grandizer. This reimagining of the classic manga Devilman takes place a little after later on in the manga, in which the existence of demons have now been televised by Ryo Asuka, a former friend of Akira Fudo, who is indeed Devilman. What had happened was, because of what has been going on, I'll go from the beginning with how it started. You see, Akira Fudo used to be a pacifist. He don't like fights, yet he has a friend slash later love interest by the name of Mickey. And she loves him, but she wishes that he had more backbone. Well, it's because of his friend Ryo Asuka that he brought him to a club in which most people were possessed by demons, and therefore one such demon, known as Amon, possessed him, and therefore he used this aggression and turned himself into Devilman. Now, in some form, Devilman was indeed the newly transformed Akira Fudo. And here's where it comes from the manga. Now, as I mentioned, the series takes place a little after in the manga, in which Ryo manages to report the evidence of demons, and fear and paranoia strikes Tokyo. This brought about human government devil hunters who wanted to purge the known areas of said demons. Now, because Mickey knew of Akira, well, that means she and her family had to die. Her parents were taken away, tortured, and killed. Her brother, Tade, basically, poor kid, pissed himself and got shot in the head with an arrow. As for Mickey herself, she was found, and therefore, since these people were crazy, They slaughtered her, and the only thing that was left of her was a severed head on a pike. Akira, of course, couldn't handle this. He couldn't handle this as Devilman, so therefore the dark side of him, namely Amon, came out and basically went into rage, killing all that was both human and demon alike to pieces. And when it was over, of course he was separated by his dark side. When it was over, he cradled Mickey's decapitated head into his arms and cried. Of course, he had to fight off his dark side, namely Amon. And let me tell you, there's nothing worse than knowing that you were there too late and the only person you ever loved, their remains are that of a severed head. And yeah, that's something to really think about. But of course, this became a later series, mind you. This is from a later series, namely, this is from 2000. Now, the original Devilman series was done in 1972. It was a bit toned down because of the violence, and the manga was truly violent, whereas the anime, when it first came out, wasn't as violent. As a matter of fact, everything had to be changed for the fact that it was getting some fire from, say, the PTA and other such notable groups. So the story had to be kind of like dumbed down in order for it to be watchable. It's a lot like with Go Lion being dubbed over here as Voltron, because Go Lion had a lot of dark parts as compared to Voltron, which were technically cut out. Amon, the dark side of Devilman, is one of those really dark series in which you have to shut off your emotions. It's a lot like Shingeki no Kyojin, in which you have to. It's best if you shut off your emotions, because it's one of those kind of shows that will make you get emotionally involved, but you do not want to be emotionally involved. I mean, the series is so dark, and I will admit, I saw the series from start to finish, and I had to basically shut my emotions off. Because if I had watched this with emotion, I would have cried, because it would make me think of things that I shouldn't even be thinking, okay? It made me go into that dark closet in the back of my head, and I do not want to go back there. Matter of fact, that's why I keep that door shut. But if you are wondering, you can check out Amon Apocalypse of Devilman. Find it on YouTube, Hulu, or whatever your video streaming service of your choosing. I'm pretty sure you can find it, and if you do find it, like I said, it'll remind you of other such classics like Geno Cyber and MD Geist and Bowel. Which I might cover that. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that if you're a fan of Go Nagai's work, then be sure to watch it. If you can actually stomach the very gory parts. So next up on our list will possibly be something different. Something that you wouldn't expect to be somewhat of a dark side of things, but it is with the theme of horror anime. You will find out what that is next time on my retro reviews. Stay tuned for more retro reviews.